Rise and grind to all the kings and queens out there. What's goody? What's up? Main man, made man in the building. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. Good morning, live from the DMV this morning. And man, oh man, hope everybody out there had a great weekend, man. I know I did, man. Let's talk some boxing. First off, I want to give a special shout out. I repeat, a special shout out to none other than Barbershop Conversations. Fred of Barbershop Conversations, man, did the DMV proud with an awesome, amazing Pulitzer Prize winning interview that he conducted with none other than Mr. Gary Russell Jr. That I'm telling you, man, that was probably the interviews. That had to be the best one. Or I looked at every second of it. I've even looked at it about 2 or 3 times at this point. It was a great interview. So salute to Fred of Barbershop Conversations. That man got major love in this DMV area after that interview all day. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say Fred even has the best one and number 2, because I remember seeing Fred do another interview with Gary Russell Jr. that I thought that was top dog. Good morning, Monty. What's up, Monty? Good morning to you, brother. Good morning to you, homie. Yo, man, fight week, homie. Fight week, man. It's going down. But yeah, I think he had the number 1 and the number 2 best interviews that he's ever done. I mean, that I've ever seen on Gary Russell Jr., man. So salute to Fred of Barbershop Conversations. But let's go over some of the points that Gary Russell Jr. was making in that fight. In that interview. Now, I've been well on record on this channel. I mean, probably now for the last couple years. I mean, you could just check the archives. Yo, I've been calling Jr. fight since I can remember. I got sick and tired of it. It got to a point where it just started to get like, it didn't make no sense to me no more. A lot of people say, well, because I hear what people are saying now, because I heard Gary Russell Jr. say, well, when it comes to Tevin Farmer, not really interested in that. Tevin Farmer, it's not a big money grab fight like that. So, yeah, Tevin's a good fighter, but I'm not really that. And then people, first thing they come out and say, well, oh, you can do that to Tevin Farmer, but, then you see why, Tank, you getting a dose of your own medicine. This is why Tank and them do this to you. You can't overlook Tevin Farmer. There's a difference there, fight fans. There's a major difference. Let's talk about that up the top. First off, there is no political divide between Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell Jr. Absolutely nothing. They're in the same weight class. They fight for the same outfit. It's all good. As opposed to Tevin Farmer, who a big name like that talented fighter, you know what I mean? World champion indeed, but still not a top dude, and like I said, there's a political divide there. So when we talking Leo Santa Cruz, we talking about an open and shut case. When we talking Gervonta Tank Davis, we talking about an open and shut thing. Salute to you, Shane. Salute this morning. Salute. And this is the difference between what he's saying with Tevin Farmer as opposed to Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz has been handled with kid gloves. I've said it over and over and over again. Gary Russell Jr. is not that dude, Joe. He is not that guy. He is not one of those guys that's interested in building up fights and interested in the antics that go on outside the ring. No, he's cut from that old school cloth of I want the best. If I am the best, I want the best. I don't want to keep talking. I don't want to go through this A-side, B-side, mumbo jumbo crap. Nah, I want to fight. It's as simple as that. Now, a lot of people also got in their bag about, Gary Russell pulling up on the father of Leo Santa Cruz. Look, man, it came to this. Y'all don't seem to understand. It came to this. This is an act. I'm glad that Gary Russell Jr. made that move. I'm glad. It came to this. To the point where that man got to literally approach his father and put him on camera and put hands on him. It came to this. Y'all don't seem to get it. The man wants a fight. Monty Brown says, I respect Gary, and that was a hell of an interview. I'm just tired of Gary chasing Leo. You got to stay busy and fight who you can fight. He got to stop fighting once a year. And when you deal with that once a year thing, though, Monty, like I was just trying to explain, Gary is an old school fighter. He's not going to sit back and keep fighting all of the bums, and all of the bums that they can find, and keep putting his wear and tear on himself when he's saying he want the top dogs. Remember last year when there was news that came out that Leo Santa Cruz may try to face Gary Russell at the end of last year. We started seeing Gary Russell Jr. resurface. Training videos started to come out. He started to talk more. And whenever you see Gary Russell Jr. talking, more than likely he got a fight coming up. That's just how he get down. You start seeing him talk more. You seen him coming out in interviews because he was gearing up for a fight until the rug got pulled from under his feet. Gary is down to fight more than once a year. He will become much more active if the competition level warrants that. But that man ain't gonna sit around and just be like, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna fight, you know, all these flat-footed, you know, no offense to nobody, but any Mexican that they can find. And it moves the needle nowhere for Gary. It may get him a couple $100,000 in his bank account. You know what I mean? But what does it do? Gary's like, look, man, I'm in my early 30s. I should be fighting the top dogs. There's zero excuse why Leo Santa Cruz can't get in the ring with me. There's zero excuse why Tank can't get in the ring with me. And he's tired of all of the crap that he see in boxing. When he looks up at Tank probably, and he like, oh, see, this is the deal with these new age boxing fans sometimes. When he looks at Tank, he's like, well, Tank ain't beat a big name. Yeah, he's making $1 million paydays, all of because of who he stands next to. Tank ain't fought nobody. He brought up 126 fighters. His biggest win in Pedraza, he brought him down in weight. I keep telling fight fans, y'all keep giving him all this credit for that first title win. Do y'all know that that fighter was on his way up in weight? Didn't have no plans of competing at 130 no more until Tank brought him back down? Y'all, and Gary see all of this. Gary sitting back like that, that's what y'all talking about? That's the guy who get all the money? When I'm out here calling out the best, and this dude bringing up 126 pounders, shrinking down 135 pounders, and y'all call that the best? Man, Gary ain't that type of cat, man. Hey, I heard him speaking on Mayweather. He say Mayweather got at him and try to like chastise him over the phone, like try to get at him over the phone. And he looking like, what he say on that interview? Mayweather, you can get starstruck. He means he will strike a star. I love that talk. He said you can get starstruck. Because look, man, I know you Floyd. Yeah, you, and like he say, I respect Pretty Boy. I don't respect Money May. None of us respect Money May. I don't respect Money May. He says, I respect Pretty Boy. But this dude, oh, you can get starstruck. All because I'm out here talking about your fighter? All because I'm out here calling out your fighter? You making him fool, Floyd. You making him popular. So what happens when you make a fighter popular? You're going to bring everybody out the woodworks while I'm calling them out. Don't call me up trying to check me. Because I don't give a damn about you. That's how Gary looking at it. Gary say, if your last name ain't Russell, I can care less about you. At the end of the day, if you got a belt and your last name ain't Russell, you fair game. Some people may say, well, man, it's a DMV, man. Come on, man. You got, bruh, if Gary is telling you, look, man, me and Tank cool, we all right, it ain't personal, but he got a belt. He's a champion, and he popular. So I'm going at him. And what Tank do? Skip up to 35. What Loma do? Everybody keep bringing up the Loma win. Let's talk about the Loma win. Let's talk about the Loma win. The Loma win. Loma beats Gary Russell Jr. on a split decision and then get the hell out of Dodge. Oh, no one wants to talk about that. He beats Gary on a split decision and then gets the hell out of Dodge. No rematch. No trying to talk up a rematch. Gary hunting him down. He makes sure he skipped up to a weight class so high that Gary can't touch him. No one want to talk about that though. Why didn't Loma stay there and reign? Why didn't he entertain a rematch with Gary? It was a close fight. They fought for a vacant title. No one want to talk about that though. Chin Smoke in the building. What up, though? Last of a Dime Breeze says they didn't count the knockdown for Russell when he dropped Loma all day. They left that part out. So when we see Gary Russell bossing up like this, man, I actually appreciate this. Some may even say he should have did this a little earlier. But this is the type of pressure it's gotten to this point that you got to put this kind of pressure on Leo Santa Cruz and Gervonta Davis. It comes to this point because they running and they got no excuses. No excuses. Salah, you say you missed it? Hey, go check out Barbershop Conversations page and check out that Gary Russell Jr. interview. It's off the charts. The most in-depth, up and close and personal, most comfortable interview of Gary Russell Jr. I probably ever seen. And it was very, very revealing. It revealed to me that Gary still has the mindset of an old school fighter. He wants the best. He don't got time for all of this playing around. Oh, fight this guy, this tune up, that tune up, then work on the big fight. Nah, that's the model of these new age fighters. The model of Gary Russell Jr. is to get in there with the best because he is a champion. Leo Santa Cruz. What more will it take to get this man into the ring? Gary pulled up on his sick father and said, yeah, I could touch him. Flipped through his little chains. Some people took that as the most utmost disrespectful thing that you can do. So what you gonna do, Leo? This is what I asked in my video. What you gonna do about it? You gonna sit there and just take that on the chin and let your fans talk for you? Or you gonna do something about it? I ain't never seen a fighter go that drastic to call out a fighter. And if this fighter don't do nothing, man, coward, Joe. You call it whatever you want. It's a coward move. You defending your family's honor at this point. So what you gonna do, Leo? Oh, you missed the live? Oh, okay, it's all love. Yeah, we did one Saturday. It's all good. I wish you were there, Salah. The next one will be Wednesday night. You know, we keeping it consistent with Wednesday and Saturdays. Salute to you. But yeah, what you gonna do, Leo? And that's what everyone wants to know. So at this point, fight fans, like, there should be no more wondering about Gary Russell. Where his mindset at? Is he trying to get into a fight? Is he trying to fight? You see what he wants to do. He wants the best. He's called out the best. The best have consistently got away from him. Now, I agree with a lot of fight fans who may think that, well, because I've said this in the past, well, main man, it's a responsibility of a boxer to keep himself hot outside the ring. And I agree with that. But some people believe in keeping themselves hot, not by out of the ring antics and interviews and going on TMZ and beating up their girlfriend and being in the box, starting fights and stuff like that. Like, some people believe that if you just get in there and consistently do what you are supposed to do in the ring, some people believe, well, that's all I should need. And they content with that. This is how you get your Andre Wards. This is how you get your Terrence Crawfords. And this is how you get your Gary Russell Jr.'s. Because these are the type of fighters where they don't have to feel like they got to act a clown outside of the ring. They're great boxers, and they want to let their skills do the talking. Whether it gets to them to a certain level of popularity or not, it may not get them to Floyd Mayweather status. But it secures a great legacy. And 5-10 years from now, trust me, people will be speaking good on them. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But yo, man, Leo, this is we're to the point now where, yo, and then Gary is even telling them, like, yo, you hiding behind managers, promoters, whoever it may be. And he's letting it know that there is a system out there protecting Leo Santa Cruz. He can't get within 10 feet of Leo. And for anybody wondering that, you know, why did Gary Russell Jr. go hunting out Leo's father? Gary told you. That was our locker room. Leo's father had a fighter on that card, and he came in our locker room. So he didn't go hunting nothing out. He just fell in his lap. But at the end of the day, like I said before, you know, there's a certain segment of fighters that I like to call just fighters, silent assassins, if you will. They're just naturally gifted, great fighters, but they don't do all of these crazy antics outside of the ring. This is why people call Gary Russell Mr. Gary Russell, because he demands respect everywhere he goes. And yo, it is what it is. No one will have no excuses. And guess what? This criticism ain't limited to Guillermo Rigondeaux neither. I'm a huge fan of Rigondeaux. But Gary has called them out too and say, why don't you leave 122 and come up to 26 and really get some smoke? Loma try to bring you up higher than that. I'm trying to bring you to 26, 4 pounds, Rigo. Step up. You hear crickets. We tired of hearing crickets out here in DMV. David Gregory says Leo's still going to duck. It's actually embarrassing, and as a Mexican, you would think he wants that green strap. They act like there's no WBC belt at 126 all day. But guess what, though? The WBC love to stay up under Leo Santa Cruz's nutsack. They want him to have the belt. If it was up to them, they would strip Gary and figure out a way to get into a Leo fight. But they know all hell would break loose if that was to happen. You right, man. You're right. Why isn't he going after that green strap? Like Gary said, this is the most prestigious belt. Why ain't you going after it? It's known to be a Mexican belt. Why ain't you going after it? No excuses. Leo looking bad in these streets, cousin. He looking bad in these streets, man. He looking terrible, man. And to know that he's chasing Gervonta Davis, a fighter that's still trying to find his way. When you got one that's a world champion standing on the division like what? Leo got nothing. But he want to keep bringing him up in interviews. Oh, yeah, I'll fight Gary Russell. I told him to make the Gary Russell Jr. fight. You know, I told him to make the... Man, whatever, bruh. It's no way... Fight fans. It's not this hard to make a fight. It's not this hard to make a fight when two fighters supposedly won it. It's not this hard to make a fight when two fighters are on the same side of the street. It's not this hard to make a fight when two fighters fight for the same manager, promoters, networks, the whole nine. It's not this hard to make a damn fight. Unless you just don't want to fight. Unless you full of crap and excuses. Salute to Gary Russell Jr., man. Salute to him. And I like the fact that he bigged up Jojo Diaz, because Jojo Diaz was one of the ones that stepped up. And look at Jojo Diaz today. That loss ain't hurt Jojo Diaz one bit, because Jojo Diaz is being a sought-out fighter. You see Oscar Valdez. Oh, I want to fight Jojo Diaz. You see Tevin Farmer. Oh, I love to fight Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz took a loss to Gary Russell Jr. It didn't slow him down one bit. He on fire right now. This is what I'm talking about. You take a loss don't mean it's just the end of your career. And Leo, I guess that machine known as Leo Santa Cruz, they've built them up on the West Coast so much. He's now, you know, he could take that loss to Carl Frampton. It's not because Carl Frampton is an international fighter, and he'll, you know, let's just be honest. Gary Russell Jr. is a young black fighter. They don't want to see that. It's not a good look for Leo to lose to a black fighter on the West Coast. It will crush the machine known as Leo Santa Cruz. Let's call it what it is, fight fans. Let's call it what it is. What's up, Angel Santos in the building? What's up, famo? Salute to you, salute to you, salute to you. Yo, hit that like button for the fam as you come on in, man. But yeah, man, we talking Gary Russell Jr. this morning, man. A real champion. A real champ. Because people tend to forget also when he lost to Loma for that title. He turned around in his very next fight and became a world champion. That's what champions do. That's what champions do. It seems to me everyone likes to talk about Lomachenko, but we forget to talk about Orlando Salido. We don't talk about that Lomachenko loss in his second pro fight. But everybody want to put Lomachenko over Gary Russell Jr. It is what it is. Duck Commander Leo all day. Monty says Gary should just move up like he said he will. He said that's what he gonna do. He said that's what he gonna do, which will be cool for him because, like I told fight fans, if he goes up to 130, given that he's the WBC champion, he'll be put in real good position at 130 to fight for that WBC belt, which is held by Miguel Berchelt. And Gary has already indicated he's wide open to fighting Miguel Berchelt and then trying to apply pressure at that weight class. But now Tank is gone. Loma is gone. As far as recognition fights at 130, I mean, Miguel Berchelt, Tevin Farmer, what are we talking? Andrew Cancio won't do much for him. I mean, what are we talking? This is crazy, man. I can't believe it's this hard to make a fight when all of these fighters are on the same damn side, man. These ain't no political divides, man. This ain't Terrence Crawford or Earl Spence Jr. This ain't Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. This ain't that. This is two fighters on the same side of the street in the same weight class that are both champions that one doesn't want to fight. That's exactly what this is. I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. Last of a Dying Breed said Shakur said he likes Gary energy, and after he get a belt, it's fair game. Hey, you seen Gary speaking on Shakur? He said he likes Shakur. He say Shakur been to the gym. She said Shakur been mixing it up with his little brothers. And he say Shakur cool dude. He likes Shakur. But if Shakur get that belt, Shakur becomes a target. And if you got metal, you got hardware around your waist, you a target, period. And that's how fighters should move. That's exactly how a fighter should move. When I see fans out here bigging up the fighters that duck and saying, look what they're doing. When I see fans playing promoter, this is when we had this conversation on the last live stream when we were out here. We talked about A-side, B-side talk and how I hate it and it makes my stomach turn. And fans are going down that road of actually protecting fighters now because they're even asking the question, well, his last fight only drew this amount of people, so why should he fight him? Why should he give him that split? Why should he give him this? This is how fans are talking nowadays. You know what I mean? It makes my stomach turn. Gary ain't that type of guy. Gary don't understand that kind of language. You speaking foreign. Angel Santos says Al Heyman is protecting his godson all day. Bright lights in the building. What's up with you? David Gregory says Mr. Russell got some old school in him. He want to fight every champ at 126 to see who's the best all day. Man, I wish they could have got a World Boxing Super Series tournament at 126. Like Gary said, our division could be the hottest division in boxing. It easily can be one of, if not the hottest division in boxing, if we all just fought each other. If Leo get out of this groove where only people I'm fighting is Carl Frampton and Abner Martes. If Martes is willing to go up to 130 to face Tank Davis before he faces Gary Russell Jr. Carl Frampton fakes like he wants a fight with Gary Russell, but then no smoke. It's getting to a point of being just unexplainable, ladies and gentlemen. And people are giving them passes. I've been speaking on this for years. I went horse speaking on this, man. You know what I mean? Monty says Godfather Al ain't protecting nobody. Maybe, man, Gary admitted that already. With Gary also alluded to the fact that Leo is being protected by promoters and managers. He's alluded to that heavy in interviews, in print, and on front of the camera. I think he's tried to walk back some of his words because Gary got to understand he got to make a living too. So he can't go but so far in. And I think he tempted to try to walk back the words at one point in time, but he's making no mistake about it. And also one thing that Gary Russell brought up that I thought was interesting. They asked him about Eddie Hearn. And they say, yo, man, has Eddie Hearn been talking to you? And Gary says, yeah, we were at a fight and I sat right next to him and Eddie was all in his ear. Like, man, you should be a bigger star. You know, there's no way they don't want you. This is where Eddie said, Eddie Hearn told him, they don't want you to be a bigger star. Wow, that's some powerful words. And Gary took heed to it. Gary sat back and it actually did something to him. You look at the reaction, how when he explains that, like, he told me that I should be a star and they don't want me to be a star. That's powerful. That's powerful. So people were wondering, would Gary Russell entertain an offer from Eddie Hearn? I look at it like this. What does Eddie offer that would do so much leaps and bounds better than what's being done for him today? The best that he can get him is Tevin Farmer. Maybe the winner if well, he can't even get him Lamont Roach, because Lamont Roach is with Golden Boy. So what honestly could Eddie do for Gary? I don't think. You see what he's doing for Tevin? He's getting Tevin a bag of bums. I mean, really, what can he do? And Gary is not going to fight for peanuts. So I don't know if Eddie Hearn actually has the capacity to do anything for Gary at 126 or at 130. There's no way he could pull the Loma fight. Well, Bob Arum, could he? What's the last guy? Luke Campbell. that for girls who just out of 26. So maybe LD what Leo and Frampton did all day. They skipped over Leo and they skipping over Gurry because of those slick styles. They want the flat-footed guys that's going to get in front of them and be rock'em sock'em robot. They don't want a guy that's going to present a slick style, use movement, use traps, set them up. They want to deal with the flat-footed guys that's going to be rock'em sock'em robot. You know what I mean? Your farmer he should have took that $5 million and handed Tank his belt. He would have vacated anyway. No, he gonna sit over there and make his couple $100,000 and keep on fighting bums. His best hope for Tevin Farmer is that Lamont Roach, DMV's own Lamont Roach, brings that title back to the zone. And maybe Oscar will be willing to put Lamont Roach in there with Tevin Farmer. That would be his best hope right now, maybe for a unification fight. But it is what it is, man. But the point it is, man, this was a great interview. Gary Curry covered every point that you can think of. Or if you got any questions, you should be leaving with no questions. You shouldn't be questioning his mentality. You know he wants to fight the best. He pulled up on Leo's pops. You know what I mean? You seen him hunting down the best. You seen him. He's now on interviews coming out, letting it be known, I want the best. He's telling you he ain't discriminating against nobody. If your last name ain't Russell and you're a champion, he want to fight you, period. At this moment, be known, if you didn't know it already, Leo Santa Cruz is a ducker and a cherry picker, period. Until the day he fights Gary Russell Jr., this dark gray cloud is going to hover over his whole camp, every fighting camp. Every camp. Gary says he's going out to the Errol Spence Jr. and Sean Porter fight. So hopefully more cameras will get shoved in Gary Russell Jr.'s face and he can talk more about this. Put that pressure on Leo. Because Leo looking real bad out here in these streets all day. I'm going to leave it right there, fight fans. Y'all go enjoy y'all day, man. All love. Yo, if you didn't hit the thumbs up on the way in, hit it on the way out, man. Much love to each and every one of y'all. Once again, another thorough salute from the DMV. Shout out to Fred of Barbershop Conversations for conducting a Pulitzer Prize-worthy interview with Mr. Gary Russell Jr., getting Gary Russell Jr. on the record better than any other media member I have ever seen. And I want to give him a thorough salute for that. You know what I mean? Y'all enjoy y'all day out there. Stay stressed and sucker free, man. Y'all know y'all gonna get slings and arrows held at you throughout your day. Put your armor on, duck them, and stay positive and keep your heads up. Until the next one, don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.